Things are getting crazy over in Japan. We're seeing fresh data showing that bond yields are surging to numbers we haven't seen in decades. We got some good news out of the United Kingdom. I want to talk to you about some fresh regulation news, what's going on with Vanguard, and more. We've got to talk about the price of XRP, of course. If you do like talking about Ripple and XRP, type in X in the comment section. Smash that like button. Let's get into it. I hope you're all having a beautiful day out there, as the era of free money in Japan is over. It's officially over. 9 years ago, Japan's 30-year bond yield hit a record low of, check this out, 0.02%. Now it's at a record high of 3.43%. That's a 17,000% increase. And I heard someone the other day say, as we were reporting on what's going on over in Japan right now, it's a nothing burger. This isn't a nothing burger. This affects everything. This did not happen overnight. It's a product of years of deficit spending, unfavorable shifts in population demographics, and failed central bank policy. Japan is now set to raise rates while handing out $135 billion in stimulus, two completely contradictory moves. Now, stimulus won't save Japan. The country needs a complete restructuring, as it just came out literally an hour ago, guys, that breaking Japan's 30-year government bond yield surges to a record 3.43% as the Bank of Japan is now considering raising interest rates. This comes just days after Japan finalized that $135 billion stimulus package. Things are heating up on the carry trade side of things. And that is going to go into what we need to talk about here at the end of this video, which is the price of XRP and how this could potentially affect XRP in a very big way, as Japan's 20-year yield jumps to 2.92%. This is the highest level since 1998. So we're talking about decades here. Now, I want to play you this clip, guys. It's very hilarious. If you know anything about Jim Cramer, if you do the inverse of what he says, typically speaking, almost seemingly 100%, you're going to make money. If you do the opposite of what he says, his digital asset investor here today puts out, history repeats itself, first as tragedy, second as farce. When Jim Cramer calls something a con, like he did XRP, it's a huge buy signal. When he starts calling people the next JP Morgan, Malcolm X, or Steve Jobs, I run like my life depends on it. A fake financial news. Check it out.
I would say that this man is not to be trifled with. Sailor will come on Squawk. He'll come on everywhere. He'll come on every show. It wouldn't shock me. He pops up at the White House for all I know. He will do whatever's necessary. He is the Malcolm X of Bitcoin, okay? Malcolm X, right? Yes. By any means necessary, he will defeat the shorts. Defeat the shorts.
We will see.
That's what his job is. I mean, when he gets up in the morning, he puts on whatever kind of men's warehouse thing he's got going. He comes in, he goes, I'm getting him today.
Yes.
I'm getting him today. And I got to tell you, he's good at that.
Sam Bankman-Fried is trying to play the role of J.P. Morgan, the original J.P. Morgan.
We talk about him a lot.
Yeah.
Sam Bankman-Fried.
Is he the Jay Gould of our era, or is he the J.P. Morgan of our era?
I think it's yet to be determined. Is
he Vanderbilt?
He could be.
To me, it's reasonable to compare you, I usually don't do this, to Steve Jobs and what he did for computing. I regard you as a visionary, next generation person.
XRP and Solana and Dogecoin, those are all, I believe, cons.
Could be concerning for Bitcoin, to say the least. Now, we got some good news out of the United Kingdom, and I've talked to many of you from the UK, a state that you haven't been very happy with how things have been going on over there in terms of crypto regulations and the way they've been handling crypto. Well, it did officially pass. UK passes law officially recognizing crypto as property. So that is a win for you all in this entire space in general. Now, just yesterday, we reported on Bank of America, who is a partner of Ripple. They've been a partner of Ripple's for a long time, and how they are now are able to tell their clients to allocate either 1% all the way up to 4% of their portfolio to crypto, Bank of America has over 15,000 wealth advisors. None of them were allowed to recommend Bitcoin and crypto until today. Now, they're encouraged to recommend 1 to 4% allocation beginning January 5th, 2026. Yes, these will be ETFs like the XRP ETFs. It's a start. It's also huge. Want to put that on your radar because yes, it is a huge deal. Now, along with what's going on with Japan, Japan turns to the XRPL as backbone of its tokenized economy. Interesting timing, right? Japan contemplates Ripple's XRPL for zero knowledge ID, paving the way for a tokenized economy. Now, this came out just the other day, but we haven't had a chance to put it out, so I want to make sure this is on your radar, and I'm going to link the article below. Market analyst Diana highlights a major milestone in Japan's digital transformation. Top sources confirm Ripple is building a zero-knowledge identity system on the XRPL. That's one thing we have to realize. The relationships that Ripple has over in Japan run far, wide, and deep. We're talking about SBI Holdings, for one, that has a huge conglomerate of banks all over Japan. They have been working with Ripple, one of the closest partners Ripple has, and again, one of the longest running partnerships is SBI Holdings. I like this. Vincent Van Code put out, "Great Scott, we are going to potentially see favorable conditions for XRP. As it just came out, SEC Chair Paul Atkins says the agency has enough authority to advance crypto regulation without waiting for Congress and plans to unveil an innovation exemption for digital asset products within a month." And so things are heating up. I want to play you this clip.
What needs to be done with crypto without legislation, and do you think that can happen before the end of the year?
Well, we'll see. We're working with Congress, and we're providing what we call technical assistance to them regarding legislation to make sure that they're staying on what makes sense and that meshes with other laws and whatnot. But we'll see. I can't prognosticate that, but we have enough authority to drive forward. I'm looking forward to having an innovation exemption that we've been talking about now. We'll be able to get that out in a month or so is what I'm hoping. We were impeded a bit by the government shutdown. Obviously, we couldn't work on things during that time, but we're on track, and we will be able to forge forward with the crypto area and make sure that we are able to embrace this new area of innovation that for too long the United States basically has just pushed back against. And so I'm looking forward to having rules that are focused on helping that sector of the economy move forward.
And lastly, let's talk about price, because last night we put out a poll where we've got about a little over 3,700 votes in. What will be the end of the year price for XRP? Now, I've stated many times I don't really like to talk about short-term price predictions because anything can change at any point in time, but I'm going to give you my opinion on this one. The poll was $10 to $20, 23%. Coming in at 23% of the folks out there out of 3,700 believe that we'll hit $10 to $20 by the end of this month. We've got 16% saying $20 to $100 and 19% saying we hit three digits, 100 plus. Now, 43% are bearish and believe we stay below $5. My opinion. Well, I've put it out publicly that I do have a bet out there that we would hit over $10 minimum, which I've said is very conservative, and that we could, with the right conditions, hit three digits yet still this year. But things would need to get pretty crazy, especially as we see what's happening with global economics. We would have to have the perfect storm and everything to happen all at once to see three digits this year, still this year, this month, in my personal opinion. I know Jake Claver, not to be confused with Jake Moulter, Jake Claver, who I like Jake. I've spoken with him a few times this year. I first had an exchange with him back in 2020 via email, and a lot of people say that he's lying and just trying to benefit his business by telling you that he believes 99.9999%, I believe is what he said, that we're going to see $100 plus this month, that he is just trying to benefit his business. But it's not fair to just call him a liar, because that's what he believes. That's his opinion. That's what he truly believes. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. We could call those out there saying that XRP is going to zero liars, but that's their opinion. They can have that opinion. They're wrong 100% in my personal opinion. You can't say something is going to zero when we just saw Vanguard list 10 XRP ETFs, the second largest asset manager in the world, with institutions all over the world green lighting XRP, even central banks. So no, it's not going to zero. It's going to a high price. We're going to 3 to 5 digits in time. How long will that take? Well, I don't like to put a set target on things on a day, because I don't want to let anyone down. I don't want to say that we're going to $100 this month and we don't hit that target and let people down. I don't really like to say, as some out there do, say that we're going to $7 or $10 in 3 to 4 weeks. What I'll say is that in the right conditions, we could hit 3 digits this month. In my personal opinion, we need to have the perfect storm, everything happen all at once. And I do have a bet in that we hit at least $10 this month. I think far too many people are bearish right now on where we are at in this market. And if we're going to see some big price action, it's going to happen this month. And I'm bullish on all of 2026. Right? We have so many things lined up in terms of stimulating the economy. Now we have quantitative easing. We know what's coming with the stimulus checks. They're going to stimulate this economy unlike we've ever seen in history. And so we're going to see the markets, the financial markets, lifted up, propped up in a big way. But again, I do stand firm on the fact that I've got that bet that we hit over $10. We could hit crazy prices and perfect conditions, but I'm not going to put an exact date on it and let anyone down. But I will say, when we talk about Jake Claver, because I know a lot of you like him, you're a fan of Jake and what the work he does, I will say everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and we can't call someone a liar if that's what they believe. That's their opinion. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you're new here, consider subscribing. We will see you all in the next one.